Okay, here we are. This is figured bass of the day, number 6. We're still diatonic. We are still triads only. But now we have root position and first inversion. We have to remember that in root position, we're going to double the root. In first inversion, we're going to double whatever works best, voice leading wise. And in general, we don't want to double the leading tone. Before I go into this, I want to talk about one other case, special case for first inversion chords. And this actually plays out in this piece, so I want to talk about it. If we have a series of first inversion chords in a row, okay, this is a special case. And I'm going to show you this. You know, when the bass moves by step, there's always a chance that you'll have parallel fifths and parallel octaves. Okay. This, when you have parallel sixth chords, parallel first inversion chords, this is actually hearkening back to a time when counterpoint was more important than harmony. And parallel thirds were considered good. Or I guess here. Also, parallel sixths with the bass. These are parallel thirds. If you look between the alto and the bass, they're parallel sixths. Okay, because both of those are good, it's okay to take these chords like this, to move them just parallel motion. The problem arises when you want to add the fourth voice to this. Okay, when you want to add the fourth voice, you have the potential for parallel fifths and parallel octaves. If you double any pitch and you move it in parallel motion, it's going to give you a parallel octave with one of the other pitches. So, if these three are moving in this direction, the upper voice is going to have to go contrary motion, or it's going to have to leap, it's going to have to move differently than this parallel motion. So let's start with some space here. I'm going to start by doubling the C, so I have a little bit of space here. And now this is a D, so that was a 1-6, here is a 2-6, which is DFA. I can't go to D because that would be parallel octaves. So here I'm going to go to A. That's fine. And now here, I can't go to B because that would be parallel octaves with the alto, so it has to go contrary motion. Okay, and that's taking us to a 3-6. So we have the bass. We have the tenor added in. We have the alto with parallel sixths. And then we have all four voices. Okay, so that is just something to be aware of. And in particular, in this piece, we have 2 sixths in a row. One other thing, this goes a little off the deep end, but I'll do it quickly. Do you see this right here? This is a fourth, and we have parallel fourths here. Okay. This is considered okay because really what's happening here is parallel thirds and parallel sixths. The fourth is not really there, if that makes sense. Okay. However, if these two inner voices were switched, we would have a problem. So say we've got E, F, G. Okay, so what if the sixth was here in parallel motion, and then the third was in the alto? Okay, so here, what's the problem, right? Well, look, listen. Okay, not quite as obvious, but if I just do the alto and tenor together, hear those parallel fifths. So we can't do that. Okay, the parallel fourths, they can kind of float under the radar. They're not as obvious. The parallel fifths we cannot do. So when you have these, you have to watch out for the parallel fifths. All right. Now, another thing I want to talk about here is the changes to the numbers. Okay, here's a 6 with a slash. Here is just a sharp by itself. Okay, so a sharp means the third above the bass is raised a half step. A sharp by itself. A slash through a sixth means the sixth above the bass is raised a half step. Okay. And so now we'll talk about that when we come through this. So if you look at this key signature, one sharp, we've got, just a sec, try to get it to focus. Okay, we've got one sharp that's either G major or E minor. See, the first note is E, last note is E. We go 5-1 in the key of E. We have a D sharp here. Okay, so this is E minor. All evidence points to this being E minor. We can go through and figure out the chords. Hopefully you've done this already. If not, stop the video and I suggest you figure this out and do the part writing. Okay, so this is 1, 5, 6, 1, 6, 2 diminished 6. Sorry, that's wrong. That's 7 diminished 6. 1, 6, 1 in root position, 6, and here this is the 2 diminished 6. This is 5, and this is 1. I want to just look quickly at the two chromatically altered ones. So that sharp means the third above the bass, which is a D, would be a D sharp. That makes it the major 5 chord from harmonic minor. Over here, the sixth above the bass is also the D sharp. That gives us a D sharp, F sharp, A chord, and that is the 7 diminished chord. Okay, so I'm going to start by voicing the first chord, like so. Of course, you could have the voices in a different arrangement. I'm pretty sure you're going to need to have at least this much space between the bass and the tenor because this bass line ascends. Okay, so we're at the 1 chord. We've got 2 roots, a third and a fifth. Now we're going to 5, B, D sharp, F sharp. So let's keep our common tone. And both of these pitches can converge on the F sharp. And we can double the F sharp because we can double whatever works best. Now, we would not want to take the E to D sharp for 2 reasons. One would be it would be parallel octaves with the bass. Another would be the leading tone would be doubled, and leading tones need to resolve out, so we get parallel octaves coming out of it. We can come back to our 1 chord with proper doubling. Here we are. Okay, so now we're going to go to the 7-6. So this is D sharp, F sharp, A. D sharp, F sharp, A. So the D sharp very smoothly comes off that E. The A enters nicely here. And the F sharp, we can double the F sharp right here. Okay, so that's how we've moved into this 1-6 chord. Now we have parallel 6. Okay, we're going to E, G, B with G in the bass. So we've got this and this. This is that parallel motion with the parallel thirds and the parallel 6 that I told you about down here. And this F sharp cannot go to G because that would be parallel octaves with the bass. So this is going to converge here on E in the soprano. Now 1/6 is going to 1 in root position. We can maintain that B. We can keep E in the alto, and the soprano can go to G. And you can see we have the voice exchange. E to G, G to E, outer voices. Now we're back to proper doubling. We can very easily go to our 6th chord, C, C, E, G, 2 common tones, stepwise motion. Now 2/6 will be F sharp, A, C. Okay, so we've got A, we've got C, and these can converge on F sharp very easily. Doubling doesn't matter, and this is super smooth. Now, going from 2/6 to 5, we need B, D sharp, F sharp. Let's keep the F sharp in the soprano, take the C down to B, and the F. Bring it down here to pick up the D sharp. And now in this final chord, the smoothest voice leading would be B sustained and these two resolving up. If you did that, great. I'm actually going to resolve it. I want it to end on E in the soprano. Okay, this is not the smoothest voice leading, but I just feel like doing that today, just for a different sound, for a stronger sense of closure at the end. Okay, so now we've got E and E. We're going to need a B and a G. We can't sustain this B because then this D sharp would have to leap to G, and there's no G in between these voices. So we're kind of written into a corner where G has to go here and B has to go here. All right, so let me play this for you. Let's see. I think this will sound good on a church organ, so let's do that today. It's a little loud. Sorry, neighbors. Here we go. Yeah, sounds good. Minor progressions are so nice, so colorful, so expressive. Okay, that's all for today. There will be an analysis of the day as well. See ya.